All right, now I want to get into how to know the top 10 ways on how to know if your body is struggling with a high burden of stress. Now, I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and for each of these that you say yes to, I want you to put a check mark. And then let's see how many you get at the end of this conversation. I'll try to keep it brief, but known to ramble. Number 1, do you feel stress keenly? Do you feel like the walls between you and the world are very thin and it sort of feels like the world is happening right here? Do you feel stress keenly? Do you jump whenever someone comes into the room? Do you feel a bit brittle? Do any of those resonate? Put a check mark. Are you the person who is sensitive, where you react to things a little bit more than the regular person? I would also say this could be somebody who identifies as an empath. Do you feel all the feels of the world? Do you react long before others do? Put another check mark. Number 3, do you struggle with a chronic disease, some of those big ones? Do you have an autoimmune condition? Do you struggle with histamine or mast cell activation? Put a check mark for each of those, actually. I put them all in one category. But when you have a chronic disease, your burden of stress goes up. Chronic disease triggers inflammatory reactions in the body. The biochemistry will turn that on to try to fix it. Number 4, jumping ahead. Do or have you ever had a chronic infection? You can also think of this as a stealth infection. So I'm going to name some here. Have you ever had food poisoning? Put a check mark. Have you ever had Epstein-Barr virus, the kissing disease? Remember that one? Put another one. Have you ever had Lyme or Bartonella? What about SIBO? Have you ever been diagnosed with SIBO? What about long COVID? Do you struggle with symptoms long after being hit with that big old virus? That was everyone's favorite word for a couple of years there. Put a check mark for each of these. Honey, you have a high burden of stress. Number 5, is sleep not working how it should? You have a high burden of stress. Number 6, do you have low energy, or do you find yourself tired often? Do you need a nap mid-afternoon? This could translate to, I think of it this way, where your resiliency is low. Like you can't get through tasks. You have a hard time seeing something through. Your ability to move through something feels like, oh my God, I'm dragging my feet. It's really hard. Yeah. Is that you? Put a yes. That's another check mark. Number 7, do you struggle with mood? Do you have worries? Do you have anxiety? Are you the person who's jumpy when someone comes into the room behind you? Oh my God, that is forever going to be me. That's a sign of a nervous system that is hardwired to react sooner, which tells me your burden of stress is pretty high. Number 8, do you have thyroid troubles, Hashimoto's, hypothyroiditis, hyperthyroiditis, Graves? Do you get cold hands and feet? Does your hair fall out? Do you have thinning hair on your legs and your arms? It means you don't have to shave anymore as you get older. That's so nice. Potentially a thyroid issue. Do you have cracked heels is another one for thyroid. Yeah. Is your cholesterol number going up? It's a natural progression and it should go up as you age, but are the numbers out of balance? And is somebody really keeping an eye on that for you and worried for you? Number 10, are you hangry? Do you have cravings, especially middle of the afternoon where, oh my God, I had to eat the entire bag of chips. I couldn't stop myself. My will is nil. It's not a question of will. I just want to point out in that moment that you ate the bag of chips, you chose to survive in the moment and provide your body with fuel so that you could turn off the stress response. Yeah, feeding a body turns off the stress response, creates safety in the body. When we create safety, we reduce that burden of stress. And now you're better able to have the tools and the energy and what it takes to get through the day with, do I have a job on Monday? And getting through the day with the stress response that gets triggered, I don't know, every time your mom comes for a visit or your dad or your sister-in-law or brother-in-law or whatever, wherever you have friction with others. Do you want to better be able to handle those? Do you want to better be able to navigate being a human in 2024? Addressing your burden of stress with nutrition is how we do it. This is the foundation of everything I do. How many of these did you say yes to? If you even said yes to one, friend, we need to see you in the Good Food Network. So what are you going to do? Oh my God, Luca, that's me. What do I do? Okay, first things first, I'm going to put links below this video on YouTube. So click on show more or more. I can't remember what it says here. And then you're going to get a breakdown of different links and you can just click on them to go out. Look for link number 1. Link number 1 gets you a chance to chat with me one-on-one for 30 minutes. It's free. It won't cost you anything. In there, we really ascertain what's going on for you and would the Good Food Network be of good service to you? Which leads me to item number 2. Link number 2 is going to be to the Good Food Network directly. You can come join us in the Good Food Network without having to talk to me, but a lot of people aren't really clear on what it is, what it entails, what they would be doing. I've got a full page lineup of so much information. Many people don't want to read it, so I did an audio version up top. But if you're not sure and you'd rather talk to me face to face, choose link 1. If you're ready to join us, choose link 2.